Good morning, and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church. I'm Pastor Gary Lode-Holt. This week we are looking at an article I found in my Lutheran Study Bible about what should we expect when we read the Bible. Today we want to look at how we have language rich in metaphor and how the Bible can challenge our complacency. You might be aware that there's some controversy in our world about how to interpret the Bible. There are some who believe the Bible should be interpreted literally, and others, like me, who believe that it is rich in metaphor and that speaks on a deep level. I encountered one writer who explained it this way. He commented on the 23rd Psalm and that it was a favorite for many. "The Lord is my shepherd," it begins, as we all know. So, the writer commented, if you take that line literally, then it means you are a sheep. Well, we know we aren't a sheep, but his point is that right there, the Bible is clearly speaking in metaphor. And if it does that here, it does it other places as well. The Lutheran Study Bible says, in the Bible, we find many metaphors, such as the Lamb of God, the rock of our salvation, the bread of life, and the way. We should not expect to read the Bible simply as a textbook. The Bible uses language and stories rich in metaphor that point to God. That lively language enlivens our sense of ourselves in relation to our neighbors and the world. To me, that's exciting. To continue the example we've already used with the 23rd Psalm, the metaphor gives me rich ways of thinking about God. What kinds of things does a shepherd do for his sheep? What does that mean God does for us? What does a sheep need for a shepherd for? How does God fill that role? Am I as dependent on God as a sheep on a shepherd? And what does that say about who I am and who God is? These kinds of questions arise out of metaphor and open up our imaginations about God as we seek, discover, and deepen our relationship with God. When we think about what we should expect when we read the Bible, the second part for today is we should expect to be challenged. Many of you have heard me say often what my preaching professor back at seminary would tell us. The gospel comforts the afflicted and afflicts the comfortable. Another of my favorites was by Mark Twain, who said, "Many people worry about the parts of the Bible they don't understand, but I find there's plenty in the parts I do understand to trouble me." Twain hits it on the head. Too often we pay attention only to the parts of the Bible we like and are comfortable with. But perhaps we need to look at the parts that trouble us as well. The Lutheran Study Bible puts it this way. The Bible provides a picture of what it means to live as a child of God and as a follower of Jesus. For example, 1 in 10 verses in the Gospels are about wealth and our use of it. We hear, "Blessed are you who are poor." To the rich young man, Jesus says, "Go, sell what you own and give the money to the poor." It is important that we not too quickly say, "Oh, all of this just affects one's attitude toward riches." That insulates us from the challenge of these texts, from the challenge of doing justice. We need to let the challenge confront us. You see, the thing is, rather than hearing the Bible for what it says, we tend to take the viewpoints we already have and read them back into the Bible. For many, it's not that they agree with Christianity. It's that they create a Christianity that agrees with them. And that's a challenge for all of us to consider, myself included. In Jesus, God reveals a radical, lavishly generous love. Perhaps we should ask ourselves how we live that out. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.